My teachers told me I'd never amount to much since I procrastinate so much. I told them, just you wait. Today, I'm going to recap a 2016 action thriller film called The Accountant. A quick warning, there will be major spoiler ahead. Christian Wolfe is diagnosed with autism at Harbor Neuroscience as a child. His father refuses to let him stay over the summer, with this environment being better for his sensory processing disorder, and instead believing that he must overcome the hardships of his condition by being exposed to more sensory stimulus, not less. Chrissy's overwhelmed mother does not like the idea at all, so she abandons them. Fearing others will exploit Chris, his father, a U.S. Army officer, begins a brutal regimen of stoicism and martial arts training for Chris and his younger brother, Braxton. In the present, Chris is a forensic accountant with a small office in Plainfield, Illinois. He unmasks insider financial deceptions, often for criminal enterprises. His clients contact him through the voice, an unidentified woman who calls him Dreamboat. He exposes himself daily to loud, hard-driving metal rock and flashing lights to inure himself to any kind of sensory overload. Chris is hired to audit the firm Living Robotics after the company's founder and CEOs, Lamar Blackburn and his sister Rita, are told of financial discrepancies from in-house accountant Dana Cummings. He finds that more than $61 million have been embezzled over years. CFO Ed Chilton, a diabetic, is forced by a hitman to overdose on his insulin. Lamar dismisses Chris, claiming Chilton killed himself over the theft. This leaves Chris distraught because he cannot finish his forensic audit. Meanwhile, the director of FinCEN, Ray King, pursues Chris, known to him as just the accountant. King blackmails Treasury data analyst Meredith Medina, threatening to reveal she falsified her background on her government job application in order to force her to locate the accountant. Her leads include Chris's cover names, various photos, and a recording from his killing of 9 members of the Gambino crime family. Medina isolates Chris's voice from the recording of the Gambino killing, repeating the nursery rhyme Solomon Grundy. She learns that his vocal cadence is reminiscent of autistic individuals and that Chris's aliases are famed mathematicians, including his current identity, Christian Wolfe. Using IRS data and records, she locates his Illinois office. Assassins attempt to kill Chris. One reveals that Dana is the next target. Chris saves her, taking her to his storage unit. It contains an Airstream RV he can use to quickly flee when necessary and holds artwork, other valuables, and the tools of his killing trade. As they talk, Dana grows fonder of him and leans in for a kiss. At that moment, he jumps up and realizes the embezzlement at Living Robotics is a scheme like Crazy Eddie's. Money stolen from the company is returned to it, boosting profits and increasing the company's valuation as it prepares for an initial public offering. When he goes to confront Rita, he finds that she has been contract murdered, now exposing Lamar as the crook behind the fraud. Government agents search Chrissy's heavily secured home. King tells Medina that Chris was in prison at Leavenworth because of a fight at his estranged mother's funeral where his father was killed protecting Chris. During his incarceration, he learned forensic accounting from Francis Silverberg, the Gambino crime family accountant who had become an FBI informant. King was Silverberg's handler, but his inaction led to Silverberg being brutally tortured and murdered by the Gambinos. During his stakeout of the Gambinos, Chris came to avenge his mentor. He could have easily killed King, but let him go after asking if he was a good father. Thereafter, King began getting vital information through the voice whenever criminals violated Chris's moral code, King becoming director of FinCEN as a result. King reveals that he expects Medina to take over when he retires. The phone rings, and the voice informs Medina about Living Robotics' situation. Chris goes to Lamar's mansion, where the hitman and his team await. During the ensuing battle, the hitman recognizes Chris, repeating the nursery rhyme, and reveals that he is his brother, Braxton. They have not seen each other since Chris's imprisonment a decade earlier. Braxton attacks Chris, blaming him for their father's death. After their fight, Lammer appears and tries to justify his criminal actions. Chris kills him with a single shot when he has heard enough. Chris agrees to meet with Braxton in a week, saying that he will find him. At Harbor Neuroscience, another set of parents visits with their boy. He meets Justine, the daughter of the clinic's director, who is a resident patient there. She is also secretly the voice, with Chris privately funding the center's activities. Dana receives a framed dogs playing poker, painting that they had discussed earlier. She soon discovers Chris's Jackson Pollock painting hidden underneath and is overwhelmed by his gesture. In the meantime, Chris leaves town with the Airstream in tow behind his pickup truck. If you enjoyed this video, don't be shy to hit the like button, and if you disliked it, hit the dislike button twice just to be sure. You should watch the full movie. Thank you very much for watching.